And I started to learn about fracking and how it was being promoted. At the same time, my home country was hit by tsunami, and all of you must know about what happened in Fukushima with nuclear power plant. And that really led me to study about how did we accept nuclear power plant in Japan, where we were the victim of atomic bomb, and we had the most strongest allergy to nuclear power plant. And I learned how they promoted it by using PR, using media, distribute money, made it really financially interesting to local community.
Political pressure in general too.
Yeah.
Bullying, it's called.
Yeah, but also lots of, I don't know if I can say this word, but basically brainwashed people to really make you think that we must have this, and it really, I see something very parallel, similar to what's happening here, and it's very difficult for me to watch, and I feel very strongly and passionate about preventing this and saving our health.
It is parallel because the nuclear industry sold us, a dangerous energy, and it was in order to, enrich the pockets of shareholders in huge multinational corporations, and yet it was sold as something that would help the average person. And then you look at the risks, and the backlash from it is exponentially, harmful, and Japan is still, in a lot of trouble today. And it is very similar. It's just like tobacco, as Josh's film, This Guy is Pink, says. They essentially try to tell you that it's safe because they have all the money in the world to do so. But it's all PR, and it's essentially propaganda. And unfortunately, the people who are against it don't have the corporate accounts that can fund the kind of PR campaigns that they can do. I mean, they've spent $80 billion since 2009. ANGA has on pro-gas campaigns, and I'm sure you can't turn on the television for 5 minutes without seeing a really slick, beautiful ad with nice people with their tears in their eyes thanking the gas companies. And that's what we're fighting. But the thing is, we're lucky to live in an internet age, and all of us can upload YouTube videos, all of us can tweet, all of us can read Facebook our likes and everything, and we have a voice. So I really think that we have a chance. All the statistics show that about half of New York is against it, about half of New York is for it, and that means that it's only a few percent that would tip the majority to essentially make it wrong for Cuomo to allow this to happen if a majority of New Yorkers really spoke out against it. And all we need is a few percentage points, about 5 or 6, and we'd be there. So.
That's the industry standard. They acknowledge that 30% of gas casings in the wells are failing. So that's what they're admitting.
100% eventually will fail.
So you cannot let anybody drill within 100 miles of any watershed, especially in New York City. There's not enough money. Even Halliburton doesn't have enough money to buy bottled water for 10 million people for 100 years.
We're always in the history of money, and expect that in a couple of years it's going to be fine. It takes a sustained effort, and it's really, really tough. I mean, amazing to be standing here on this stage, and trust me, we know just from making the second film how hard it is just every day to just keep going and tour to 200 different cities, and this is why it's so important that these guys have come in and given us a big shot in the arm. Huge. When you and your mom went on Jimmy Fallon.
For these guys too to be doing. I mean, young people, you shall inherit the earth, and it's most important that teenagers and young people are talking about it. And a lot of young people are easily influenced, as we all are, by these powerful ad campaigns. And I think it can be overwhelming when a lot of people say, well, look, you just don't understand the issue because it's about entanglement in the Middle East, and do you want war? I guess not. So then you want fracking, don't you? And they can just they can just get you. But the bottom line is we're at a turning point in history. When I grew up, the issues that we were dealing with were not the same as the issues we're dealing with now. And essentially, this is a fight to save the world. It's not simply about fracking. It's about changing the direction of society so that we don't fall off a cliff of non-sustainable living. And that has to do with global.
That's the best way I've ever heard you put it. Thank you so much. I mean, this is literally, there is no such thing as your own backyard anymore, right? I'm here defending my backyard, and I got this, and so is Sean, actually. And so are so many people. We have Craig Stevens here from Denver. Let me see that. We'll hear something from Craig. If anyone's thirsty after a long film.
Yeah. Careful, man. Really be careful with that.
This is not just about what's happening to you. We're all downriver, we're all downstream, and we're all downwind. And when we're talking about climate change, when we're talking about fossil fuels, when we're talking about the development of 50 years of another fossil fuel, you're defending your own home turf because you're defending your own future.
Sorry to interrupt, but young people are the ones who are going to suffer the most for the economic consequences, because there is an argument that they're going to make a lot of money from this, which is obvious. And the people who are going to make money, again, they're not the average employee in these companies. These are multinational corporations, and a few shareholders make the majority of the profits. And you frack once and the land is ruined forever. And then you have no water. And then how do you have an economy? Once you fracked, the nature's gone, your water's gone, and you have to desalinate salt water to take a bath every day. Then you have no industry. Every truck that ships everything around the world needs water to run their engines. Water is a much more precious resource economically than the benefits we would get from selling gas.
What's her position on fracking?
She hasn't met with the community. She's been completely silent. As she has in neighborhood after neighborhood that is seeing destructive projects like this one. She's just doing what Bloomberg tells her.